Hey guys, it's Ian Huff and from Ian Huff Studios, and today this is a new type of episode, a new type of series that I've been wanting to make, and this is called Ian Huff Reacts and Reviews, because this is pretty much where I make reaction videos, also reviews of short films, fan films, you name it. I mean, movies. I do reviews with that. That's a totally different thing. Short films, fan films, and miniseries. That's pretty much my thing. That's pretty much of a new thing. So today we're going to be doing a reaction slash review on Black Friday Chapter 3 Differences and Black Friday Chapter 4 The Final Countdown. And right now we're going to be watching Chapter 3, which I'm really excited about. So, yeah, let's react to this series. Okay. Unleash Pictures and Peter Wickliffe present. He's a cool guy. Black Friday. Chapter 3. Differences.
The wonders of working in a department store during the holidays. Actually, to be completely honest, it's not the holidays themselves that are busy or wondrous. It's the days before and after the major holidays. Of course, the busiest shopping day of the season being the one right after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, as most of us know it. This is the day that every department store employee dreads. It's so bad that the employers dread it too. Now that is saying something. Of course, our manager, Mr. Rottlestein, never openly admit this fear. But then again, he never was very good at hiding his emotions. At one point, Mr. Rottlestein was an officer of some sort in the army, as I recall. He was in charge of kitchen duty, I think. I don't remember who told me that. All I know is that if you ask Mr. Rottlestein what he did in the army, he will tell you.
Titles don't matter. All that matters is that I fought to give my country its freedom. You don't have to be in front to lead. You can lead just as easily from the rear.
Although I think he might be dodging the question. The only thing that really makes sense is that whole leading from the rear thing. That's really all a manager does, in my opinion. I just wish he'd stick to that more. Mr. Rottlestein is what I like to call a lingerer. He doesn't like for you to acknowledge that he's there, but he is. And he's really big on the early morning pep talks. Probably something he picked up during his days in the military. Every morning all of us line up as Mr. Rottlestein paces back and forth and prepares his soldiers for the day ahead. On days like today, though, it becomes much more of an ordeal.
That's
The
hilarious.
progression goes something like this. First, there's the preparation speech. Second, the inspection. Third, the one-on-one counseling, or as he likes to call it, the heart-to-heart. Then we all line up for one final speech before the doors open. Mrs. Hugel calls it the 3 steps of stupidity, although technically I think it's 4 steps. Oh, which brings us to, well, you know how all great and fearless leaders have that one weak spot in their armor? Mr. Rottlestein is no exception. Mrs. Hugel has that weak spot. You see, someone like Mr. Rottlestein really hates to be corrected or contradicted, especially in front of his soldiers. Mrs. Hugel does just that. She's always talking out of line and has very little respect for Mr. Rottlestein. Mrs. Hugel hails from some part of Russia, which makes her apt to speak her mind whenever and wherever she wants. Although I do know at least part of her life is spent in the US. This tiny little detail makes things just slightly worse, for you see, there's nothing more that Mr. Rottlestein hates than being corrected by a foreigner. Especially since Mrs. Hugel's English is not the best. One thing is for certain, though, Mrs. Hugel is almost always right about everything. She's like that one irreverent family member you have and love. Stay on her good side and everything is simple, but get on her bad side, whew! Let's just say that's a road Mr. Rottlestein seems to journey down more often than not. I actually think Mr. Rottlestein would fire Mrs. Hugel if you weren't so afraid of what she might do. She's also been here longer than any of us and knows the ins and outs of the store better than even Mr. Rottlestein. I can't even imagine what would happen if Mr. Rottlestein ever got up the courage to fire Mrs. Hugel. I tell you, when these two get into it, it's a thing of beauty. Some of the best entertainment you can get at work.
We have no choice but to move the handbags into your department, Mrs. Hugel.
I say no.
This is not a negotiation, Mrs. Hugel. What I say goes.
What you say? No. I say what moves to my department.
I am the store manager. I manage the entire store.
Except my department.
I don't have time to argue this with you, Mrs. Hugel.
Then don't.
We are moving the handbags to your department, and that is final.
Like hell.
I am putting my foot down, Mrs. Hugel.
Put all the feet down you want, just not in my department.
I'm warning you, Mrs. Hugel.
Me? No. The only way I let you move anything to my department is if you ask.
I don't need your permission.
You don't ask, you don't move.
I won't stand for this, Mrs. Hugel.
Then we are done.
Okay. Fine.
Blood pressure. No need to shout. Just ask.
Can we...
May?
we move the handbags into your department?
No place else to put them now, is there? Two stipulations. One, I say where handbags go, and two, only half of them. The rest stay out here.
That's exactly what I've been saying.
Probably should put handbags next to luggage.
I gotta say, that was funny, and I like the performances. For the guy I don't know his name, the Colonel, he's pretty funny. I like this performance, and the late, oh man, I don't know his name. I mean, I pretty much got the names, but but the one thing I like about them, they have made really great performances, and they're really great, and I'm so happy reviewing this one. This is like my first episode of reactions and reviews. I made like a bunch of reactions and reviews, but this is a new series, which I'm happy to react to, which is pretty fun. Yeah, I really love the performances. I love how I just love it. It looks really hilarious. So the next, the next video will be chapter 4, which I'm really excited for. All right, let's get to it. Okay, here we are on episode 4, the final countdown. Oh. Okay.
We have 6 minutes before we open, so I would suggest we find some kind of civility that will get us to the end of the day.
Okay.
Nothing to worry about, Mrs. Hugel.
Why is he on counter?
He was giving us a pep talk?
I don't believe you.
Yeah, everyone was feeling a little jittery, so I thought I'd say a few words to calm us down.
Jittery, I believe. Oh, you are sensible. But I heard chunky.
Oh, it's just the customers outside.
Speaking of which, 4 minutes.
No time to waste.
Who is wasting? I have been ready since 3. I go to my department now.
Pretty cool. Very hilarious too. Yeah, I like that first part. So this is just only part of the game. Black Friday. Chapter 4. The final countdown. My final countdown. Something like that. Earlier.
So now do you see why I cannot have you undermining my authority? I have been more than patient with you, Mrs. Hugel, but you pushed me to the end of my ropes. I cannot afford a weak link, especially today. Now I know we got off on the wrong foot this morning, as we usually do, but we can get beyond that, and get back on the right.
Wonder if she's sleeping.
Mrs. Hugo. Mrs. Hugo. Mrs. Hugo. Hello? Hello? You're fired! I said, you're fired!
Oh man, she's still asleep.
Isn't that Joseph Stalin over there?
Where?
Well, did you hear a single word I said?
Of course. Something about Stalin.
No! And were you asleep?
Focusing. Now, I will finish getting ready.
No, you just wait a moment. I'm not done yet. You need to listen to what I have to say.
You want me to be ready to open or you want to talk? I cannot do both.
I am losing my patience with you. I try and I try, but you give me nothing.
Blood pressure.
You have no
Blood
respect
pressure.
for me or anything I say.
If you said something I could respect, I would.
Mrs. Hugo, you're...
Okay. That I like. Miss Hugo just falls asleep, and that was. That's so hilarious. I'm sorry. I can't. Okay. The Colonel was really good at playing very comedic, and then he's so funny. Well, this Hugo and the guy who narrates from the episode 3 that you've been seeing. That was really fun. I really love this. This looks really good. I love it. This looks really great. And Peter Lickliff, if you're watching this, I like it. I can't wait to see the 5th episode and the 6th episode, or how many episodes there will be. The next one will be episode 5, which is Black Friday itself. And yeah, it's going to be really cool. I really can't wait for it, and I'm really hyped about this, about the rest of the series. The Black Friday series is very interesting for anyone who loves Black Friday and Thanksgiving and Christmas. So this is pretty much Black Friday. Black Friday is pretty much between Christmas and Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving comes first, Black Friday, then Christmas comes in a few weeks, and I just think it's really cool. I love this series. It's really great. Can't wait to make more reactions and reviews with this. I'm really happy that I made this first series called Reaction Reviews. Yeah, this is a really great one. I really love this, and I can't wait to do more of this. It looks really cool. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you like and subscribe and everything else. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.